Anyway, before I got in, and I recently told this story and realized that it sounded like I was trying to bribe the guy when that's not what was happening. I'm just a happy-go-lucky person. When I was doing my admissions to U of M, hold on. When I was doing my admissions to U of M,
Yo, A&K after hours, let's set the vibe. Late night talks, real ones gon' ride. Kick back, unwind, no cap, no lies. Deep dives, throwbacks, culture analyze. From cartoons to skate decks, movies to games. Breaking it down, no two takes the same. If it's classics or hidden gems in the mix, you know A&K finna put you up on this.
all right, welcome in. So for today, we're gonna
Hello, Ski.
Okay, Pavlov. Today, we're going to be talking about a, not interest, more a lifestyle, hobby, go-to, I don't even know what other word, passion, love,
Do it, kickflip.
infatuation, and the biggest influence probably in my life, whether I want to admit it or not. This and cartoons are pretty darn equal. So, today we're going to be talking about skateboarding. So I do want people to know that even if you don't skateboard, or if you're not a part of that culture, or it's not something that really interests you, I would still stick around, especially if you're into things like community-driven aspects, art, expression, self-identification, this idea of who we are as people. This episode will connect a lot of bases that aren't just skateboarding itself. This is kind of a bigger conversation. The episode idea, actually's title was like why a hobby is a lot cooler than you realize, and we chose skateboarding and because we want to talk about the different avenues and different life areas that it really truly can connect to. So there will be some deeper conversations in this, but there will also be some fanboy nerding out as we go along. So if you're not fully a skater, do not worry. You're still going to enjoy that. But with that, 8 years old, I got my first ever deck, which was a Target brand skateboard. It was Spider-Man, like the screen image shot of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fighting in midair with the Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe shout out. And that was my first ever skateboard. My first ever real skateboard was an Element, Bam, Margera. Those were my first two decks. I started skating at 8. I got my real first deck, my Element deck, when I was about 10. That was my first real board. Do you remember what your first board or first real board was by chance, just out of curiosity?
So my first board was like a cruiser, and it wasn't even like fully mine. It was like I shared it with my siblings, and we would ride it around. Um, and that thing was like it was like weirdly gripped. So it's like the whole thing wasn't gripped, but it was like in a pattern, in like a zigzag pattern. It was weird, but anyways, we would ride that around. My first real board, I think, was an Element board.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember what the graphic was, but I do remember it being a 775.
Yeah, no, so was mine. I mean, it has to be when you're that small.
Oh, I was gonna say that like I know I rode a 775 when I was that young, but like I think about it, I'm like, I can't believe I ever rode a 775.
I'm surprised you still
Like
don't.
even really?
Yeah, you seem like such a small board person to me, and I know you my whole life. Like, so me saying that's not even me making a joke.
I love a bigger board.
I know, but that
I got
blows
strong
my
legs.
mind. Like, I don't know why, but it's because your feet. You have tiny feet.
I have small feet,
So it
but I got
feels-
strong legs, and I need a heavier board, bigger board.
That I guess that makes sense because yeah, you do have strong. So do I. Like, and I'm also just big.
Who introduced me to skateboarding? That's a good question. So I would say it was my second family. Crystal,
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Keelan. I saw I saw them skating one day, and they actually took us to they took us somewhere, and I was like, okay, this is really cool. I really like this, and somehow, like I said, the first board, somehow we ended up with that, and so started skating around them, and then we that's when we were told about the street team, the number street team.
Oh, so you were introduced to
And then
skating a lot
saying-
later.
Huh?
You were introduced to skating later than me then.
Yes, yes. That's how I got into it. Seeing people, I don't know, seeing people do tricks really captivated me, and I was like, I gotta try this. I gotta try this. And then so I did that. used that little board until I finally got one, and just went from there. I was about I was about 12, 13. Yeah. Sorry I wasn't sorry I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, I guess so. So the reason I walked away is because I was introduced to skateboarding a lot earlier and of a different avenue. Um,
If you say tech deck,
I have a tech deck in my hand. That is a vintage one that has magnetic feet, so I
I
can literally just
I'd do it.
drop him. This is one of their old
That's so funny.
logos. He has magnets on his feet. This is a really old, small tech deck. It's an explosion. Um, my stepmom's younger brother, Josh, was really into skating and tech decks his whole life, and he would always give me his hand me down tech decks. After he get a few new ones, he'd give me his. So I had a bunch of like Toy Machine, Alien Workshop, a few World Industries tech decks, and that really got me into tech decks and how cool skateboarding could be. And then my cousin Tyler actually skated more than Josh did, and I would go over to hang out with him, and I would see him doing it. I'd be like, I want to do this, but I was a lot younger, so I've been introduced to it probably since the age of 5, like actually because of tech decks, and then more 6, 7, 8 because of Tyler, and then at 8 I expressed to my mom I want to do this. She got me that Target Spider-Man board. Next thing you know, I didn't do tricks yet, but I learned to ride the board for like 2 years straight. Like, I'm so good on a board. Khalil is better at technical things like doing actual tricks than I am, but I don't think anyone I know can outmaneuver me on a board. I have like a connection with the board that is just feels natural beyond belief. I don't have the world's greatest balance, but I am very athletic. So when it comes to sports or these types of things, if I'm not active in a sport or something like skateboarding, my balance isn't the greatest. But then those moments, it's like a lock-in moment that's unbelievable. And so skating really helped progress that, I think. And so it like
You unlocked a memory for me. I remember where my element board came from.
where
Came from Kmart.
that's sick.
Came from Kmart.
Yeah, Kmart used
It was
to have
one of
the
those
board.
really cheap boards. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. I think I was with you one day, and we went to
Kmart across
Kmart,
from
and
Vets, and we were messing around on the mini boards. Yeah,
yep, good
100%,
times.
100%. So yeah, I skating is ingrained in my life, and I mean, here I'm gonna do a little nerd out real quick, and then we'll get into it. Skating can connect you with so many different walks of life, different people, you name it. And I don't mean that just in like Khalil and I bonded over skateboarding as our friendship blossomed. We were friends before we knew we both like skating. In fact, I'm just now learning Khalil didn't like skating until way later. That might explain why I didn't come up sooner. I made connections with my family. Quick little brag, Khalil and I are two of the main reasons that the Ann Arbor skate park exists, which is $1 million skate park. Like Khalil said, a person named Crystal, who is very influential in our lives, started a program, and we headed the program called Street Team, which was actually, let me go ahead and here just flex this a little bit. Here's the t-shirt that Tony Hawk signed. It's got my blood it's got my blood where Tony Hawk signed it, and he wrote, I broke this out of storage today just for this. He wrote, "Skating is whack, psych, signed Tony Hawk." And you can't see anymore, but there used to be my blood right there. It's like under his name because I busted my lip and I was like dabbing it up all day. And then he signed my shirt. So I met Tony Hawk through the Street Team. We raised $1 million doing bake sales. You name it, dude. Like, it's
Good
so
times.
inspirational. I met so many good people. I met pro skaters. And that's just in person, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to nerd out about something else random and small, which is like, look at my hat. So this is a company called Lucy Loves You. It's by one of my favorite skaters, Jordan Taylor. I've talked to him on Instagram and on other platforms a few times, not to the point where I think he remembers me by any means, but like, it's cool to like see that happen. And I was able to connect with him. I was his 36th ever order. Like, this came with a confirmation slip for his brand new like trademark company. I was order number 36. I also own a custom
Nice.
one-of-one wallet that was never released by his brand Lucy. I use it so much. I mean, it's falling apart. And then literally next to me, I have Lucy. By the way, is not a skate brand. It's a gosh darn belt brand. So here's my Lucy belt. Fake alligator skin, baby. Like, and I talked to this man.
That's
He
awesome.
watched my Twitch streams during COVID because I had his decks, him and Tom. I had their decks hanging in the background. And I like made a joke about it on Twitter, and he liked the tweet and then came and found the stream and said nice background and watched for a minute and dipped. It's like that connected me with somebody. Hey, small awesome. Small note, Jordan, I don't think you will, but just in case you ever watch this, hey, make big boy belts. I'm fucking huge, dog. This barely fits. No. I wear a size 40 pant, dog. This barely fits. I love it to death, but I have to squeeze into it. Anyway, but everything else is beautiful. And it's like, it connected me with him and with so many other people and companies in the skating community that I was able to connect through Instagram and Twitter. It connected me with my local community. I met Tony Hawk. I played video games. I met people through the video games. Like, skating goes beyond skating. And I think that was a point that I just wanted to bring up early because we're harping back and connect to it a bunch of different times. I mean, it's literally my whole personality. Right now I'm wearing my Lucy hat. I got my Hops Skateboards King Tut hoodie. There's a little, where's the Hops tag? There it is. I'm wearing my carpet bro pants. Where's look at that. Big Don booty. And so, like,
take a picture, it lasts longer.
You know what I mean? Like, this is real, dog. And like, so, you know, it's skating goes deeper than people realize.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to start that conversation there, and now we can break into the things that I have written down. And I'll flex more stuff that I have. So much stuff around me that people can't see that I'm so excited to flex today. And so here, let's start with skating even connected me to my university. Here's this. And now after I left, they started a University of Michigan Skateboarding Club. They didn't have it when I was there. But anyway, before I got in, and I recently told this story and realized that it sounded like I was trying to bribe the guy when that's not what was happening. I'm just a happy-go-lucky person. When I was doing my Mission CU of M, I was I was telling him about my community work. I was like, yeah, I did a lot with Hanover Skate Park, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, you know, my son's like turning 7 or 8. He really likes skating. He thinks it's super cool. And he wants to get into it. And so every time I met with him about emissions, I would ask him, like, how's his kid? Are they skating? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, he's using my board, but, you know, I'm a big guy. He's a tiny little lad, so, like, it's harder. All this stuff. I gave him, and I'm sad about this, but I'm not at the same time, because hopefully it built a long life memory for this child. I showed up one day in his admissions office, and I gave him a completed deck. I gave him a completed Ann Arbor Skate Park deck that had the date of the opening on it. New used trucks of mine, used wheels of mine. It was a smaller deck, so I wasn't going to use it. I would have just hung it up, which is like, I do love that. I have so many decks, it's nuts. I gave him that, and I was like, dude, I'm so glad that you and your son are bonding over skateboarding. I'm so glad that there's another member in the community getting into it that's going to use the park that I help raise money for. And when I say build, I don't mean physically, but Khalil and I were there during the design process. Wally came in, he's like, what do you guys think of this design? Our 14-year-old selves walked up and was like, this doesn't make much sense right here. This part's kind of whack. Next thing you know, they changed the design. Like, bro, I mean, come on. So I realize
we were there for the groundbreaking.
We were.
We broke ground.
We broke barriers.
We were in the paper.
And we were in multiple papers. It's nuts. Like, so I realize now, though, that probably looked like externally I was trying to, like, bribe him to get me into the U of M. It wasn't. That was the last thing on my brain, though. You know what I mean? That's just how I was excited about skating and this new person being able to enjoy the park that we built, and like, oh my gosh. So I wanted to share that story. Here, we need to jump into questions because you and I would probably, this episode would turn into a rant. Let's see. I like skateboarding has taught you resilience, risk-taking, and creativity. What is the role that skateboarding built in building your confidence and shaping your identity? I think we just did a lot on shaping our identity. But yeah, I do want to kind of dive into this. You are a shy person. You do have confidence in yourself, but you don't have confidence in social situations, which, you know, that's not abnormal. There's a lot of people that fall into that category in this world. So this is true. Talk about it to me. Did skateboarding help that, like, avenue change, that lane change, that shift over time? Because, like, the people you meet at the park, the people you communicate to at the shops, like, I've seen you open up to strangers at a skate park or a skate shop more than I've ever seen you open up anywhere else.
I definitely agree. I think in the long term, it has really, really shaped who I am. I do want to touch on the resilience part about it, though.
Go ahead.
I have hurt myself so much.
I say my knees permanently whacked out.
I do have ankle problems from skateboarding, which is not to say it's not anything significant, but I can still get on skateboard. I still do martial arts even. So it's like I don't know. It's like both the literal sense and the figurative sense, I can fall and just get right back up. And that is a lesson that came from skateboarding, also football.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're talking to me. I played every sport on the earth except for water sports, which I wish I would have played because it helps your bones.
There you go. And so I appreciate that aspect of it. Risk taking. Honestly, back then, talking to people was a big risk to me, just because of that shy demeanor that I had. But also just like, I'm gonna try that. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, back then it's like, there's a 2-stair right here. I'm just gonna do a pop shove it down these stairs.
I remember being it was probably 10th grade maximum. We were downtown at what used to be M Live or Ann Arbor News, and then turned into a Witch and is now a men's barber shop. That 7-stair behind the neutral zone. And I remember like just skating by it one day, and Khalil just looks at me and they go, I'm going to try this. And I was like, first of all, what? Second of all, it's brick. It's a brick lead up. Like, you're nuts, dude. And next thing you know, hours spent. We probably spent an hour and a half there. And you ended up making it, right?
No, I did not make it. No. Do you know that there is still video of me trying?
Do you have it?
Staircase. I have.
Send that to me and I'll put it up here while we're talking.
Okay.
Send it to do not forget to send video. That.
I will not. So that video exists. It's grainy as hell.
Doesn't matter
because cameras back then. I mean, phone cameras were so crappy, but that's what made them. That's what made it so much fun. That's part of what made it so much fun. And also, just it's not only it's like, oh, I'm gonna try that, but what can I do here?
Thank you for saying that. Mean? The can I do? And I want to go on
and is it ABD?
Yeah, already been done, baby. So I need to go on a small tangent here. I wrote a paper in college during an anthropology class, and for the people who don't know, anthropology is kind of like the study of humans outside of biology. So it's the way we think, the way we react, the way we speak, the way we do. It's not the physical science. If you could
take that class, do it.
And so
it's great.
I did the culture of anthropology. So it was an anthropological look at culture of humans, and you got to choose the avenues in which you did for your second half of the course. The first half was introducing the topic, reading certain books, etc. And my final project, I wrote a massive, and I read it recently again because I was curious. I don't read things after I write them. My final on skateboarding and how it anthropologically is a part of not only my culture, but how a skateboard can be physically a part of me as a human. And what I wrote, and what I mean by that when I wrote the paper is, when you put a skateboard in someone's hand, the view that people project onto them changes. They're either going to look at you as like a jackass, a hoodlum, a rebellion, anarchy. They're going to look at you as cool, calm, edgy. They're going to look at you as like, wow, that person seems pretty 80s, seems pretty rad. So like, yeah. But not only that, that's the projection put onto you. You also yourself change your projection. You feel different. You feel either cooler. You feel more yourself. You feel different. But then when the board touches your feet, it becomes a physical part of you, whether you realize it or not. In the theoretical sense, the board is now just an extension of your body. You can now go faster than you ever could on your regular feet. You can jump down a 7-stair without hurting your knees, but you could not do without the board. You can hop off of a curb, which you would normally wouldn't just go boop, boop on your feet off a curb. You wouldn't do that. It becomes a part of you in a way that you never would have thought or stopped to realize, that makes it so magical that it's not just a part of my identity. It's a part of me every time I step on a skateboard. It is an extension of myself. And I don't think there's anything more beautiful than that.
Great point. Good point, guy.
Good point, guy. So, and I think that's a beautiful thing to think about, because I don't think a lot of people do. And you can think about this too, because like our next part, by the way, thank you for sharing, Khalil. That was awesome opening up. Another thing would be like talking about this, of how it extends into places like your fashion, your music, your art. Well, first of all, I already talked about the fashion aspect. Everything I own clothing-wise. By the way, if nobody's noticed yet, I put a different pair of shoes right there every episode. This time, it is my... Let me just go grab it. Khalil, while I go grab this, tell everyone what your favorite skateboarding trick is to do and what your favorite one to see is.
Okay. My favorite skateboarding trick to do is honestly just a tray flip. I think tray flip is so much fun. It's easier than it looks, but it's so much fun. Favorite one to see, hard flip all day. I love hard flips.
That's pretty cool.
I
My favorite to do is a heel flip or a no comply, no comply shove, and then
There you go.
my favorite to see is anytime if somebody does like a front side board slide. I don't think there's anything
Ooh, those are
more
nice.
clean. I love it. But this isn't the shoe I skated. I bought a second pair. I love the shoe so much. My most recent skate shoe that I use now, I use the Nike Blazer, but before that I was using the Tyshawn Jones one. And I bought two pairs of these because I love this one so much. This one's just for wearing. So that's the shoe in the background today. So more fashion influence. The other one stays back. This one's gonna move off to the side for now. But yeah, and then right now, are you still skating those green DCs?
No, I actually tore those up so much I had to get rid
I
of
almost
them.
bought you a new pair a couple months ago.
Oh, that would that would have been lit. I would probably not have skated through because I would be like, this is a treasure now. I can't break them. So when it comes to fashion, I I never really paid too much attention to the fashion, but I was like, I'm gonna get something that is skateboarding related. Like if it's pants from a company, shirt from a company, I did want it.
I don't think a lot of
Typically
people
because
know
I
about the baggy thing. That's like I explain this to my kids all the time in class. Every now and then, when they ask me about skating or when I come in on Fridays casual, they're like, "Why do you like such big pants?" I'm like, "I grew up skating. You know how nice it is not to have thrashed up knees. The more
it is really
material,
good.
the better." All right, continue your thought.
I do agree with that, but then also my whole thing about having baggier pants is like I sometimes I just didn't like the feel of it when I was skating, or even what would happen would be like the grip tape would somehow find its way under the pant leg and scratch my leg. I hated that. I I honestly prefer like a more form fitting
Yeah,
pant when I'm
straight cut.
skating. Yep. Um, but also I just like I'm a skater. I need like stuff that I don't mind ripping
See, isn't that
or
funny? Like
just
it needs to be
getting dirty.
thrashable,
Like
but we also skating is also such an expressive outlet where like
yep,
skaters
yep,
dress so uniquely, they dress so true to
yes,
themselves.
yes. And I honestly always felt that I did. Like this is what I want. This is what I'm gonna wear.
100%. Like I bought this Hops hoodie because it's Hops and it's King Tut. I teach a week long lesson on King Tut. Like,
There you
bro.
go.
So,
Look, see, tying it into to our lives
and no,
today.
I'm gonna keep doing that. We look at something
So
like
influential.
art. Music's not so much like yeah, there's skating music, but skating music has become more of a distant past. I think like a lot of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, there were like literally skate bands. I mean, the show sheet today is
Yeah.
literally called "He Was a Skater Boy." Um,
And
like the,
that's one thing though is like when it comes to skating, like if you've ever seen like if you've just seen a few skate videos, you will notice the amount of different types of music within those
and
videos.
that talks to
I mean,
skating's
you could go
inclusiveness.
from yeah, you can go from punk to gangster rap to like I don't know some R&B. Like it's so crazy.
I do
I
so
always loved
good.
it.
So I think music is a huge part of skating, but I don't think there's a lot of music around skating anymore. I think that kind of era passed. I think the 80s and the 90s really took that and ran with it, and I think now it's more like skaters just use music that already exists to find where they fit in so much as creating it.
Yep.
Because like you literally had thrash metal was a genre for a long time. I mean, it still is, but like you know what I mean? Like, but art. I mean, skating is art. They hire artists to make the boards. They film. They do photography. They edit. Like, I
Yep.
have, and I'm going to try to revamp this moving forward. I have a small company that it's just me expressing my art, which is Krabby Jazz, self plug. I love doing
Oh
Krabby
yes,
Jazz.
please start doing
What is
Krabby
Krabby
Jazz
Jazz,
again.
you might be asking? Well, I make custom
I
grip
love
tapes.
Krabby Jazz. Krabby Jazz is amazing.
This is the first ever board I custom made, so I sanded off. It's an 80s fish board, so it's from the 80s. I have rails on it. And what I did is with our friend Josh A, which, hey, side tangent, have you noticed that Josh A, and I'm not going to say his last name on here, but he's like the one friend I've always wanted, and I didn't realize we've had him the whole time. I've always wondered, like, why do we have a friend in the group that we call their full name? That's him. I don't think I've ever said his name without saying his last name until this moment.
That is a really good point.
Anyway.
Because I don't think there were a lot of
No,
other
Nick is,
Joshes
but
around.
Nick, no, exactly. That's the thing. Nick's the other one, but we say his with like a joke, like the basketball phenom, and then say the rest of the name.
yeah.
So that's a little different. Like, no, Josh, we just say his full name, bro. But yeah, Josh and I did this. We found this board at a thrift shop or a yard sale for sure. And I sanded off the original graphic, and I tried to spray paint my own girl graphic, and it was terrible. So then I unsanded it, or resanded it rather, and then we started sticker slapping with every sticker we could ever get our hands on. And then this is a modern grip I put on it because Krabby Jazz is a grip tape company that I want to expand into shirts. But look, not even that. Like, skating is art. Here's something I won at the Ann Arbor Skate Park grand opening. It's a wrench board.
Oh, yeah.
I put a skeleton grip
wrench
tape on it.
board.
The skeleton's not actually on this. That's the grip. It's a wrench, bro. You can use it. Or you look at, like, people...
I forgot about the
like
wrench.
Crooked.
You got the...
Crooked makes these boards, bro. The Crooked boards nowadays are so fat, so beautiful. But then I do this. I get clear grip. I put stickers and things I like. I cut a lightning bolt into the grip. I also added carpet grip at the bottom. Like, art is expression. Skating is expression. You look at what the artists make, and then here's a brand, all timers. Here's a cruiser board. That's teeth with gold teeth.
That's the one I was just thinking about.
Like, bro,
Yep.
we out here, we in the arts. Like, skating is so expressive, and like, people make videos. People don't think about the time and effort that the video editor puts into making sure that when an 808 kick drum goes boom, that the skater lands a 4-stair fucking tray flip. Like, there's so much effort into timing, imagery, placement, art. Whether it's graphics on a t-shirt, whether it's graphics on the board, whether it's the artist who made it, if it's their best friend from another state, it's tied in these avenues. And I was telling some students recently, skating is an avenue that all people of creative outlets should use. If you like videography, photography, get into skateboarding. Even if you can't skate, be the friend who can film for them. Learn to ride so you can get with them. If you want to do art design, find somebody that's really good at skating. Start giving them your designs to throw on a t-shirt or onto a board. If you like making music, maybe you make a little clip and have your friend use it on their Instagram clips that are 90-second song. You're like, here's a beat I made that's like 2 minutes. Feel free to use it on your, next clip session. Like, art is skateboarding. Skateboarding is art. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Like, it's just how it is.
Like, is Einhorn.
And it's beautiful.
It's like you can
so
hopefully
beautiful.
feel the passion, listeners and viewers. Like,
Yeah.
I freaking care about this, bro. This is something I've held so true in life for so long. I have no better way of expressing. I have a chocolate clock on my wall, and no, I don't mean the food. So my skaters, you know what I mean. It leaks
you know what he
into
means.
every aspect of my life. And so I started a skate club at my school. I teach kids how to skate during the spring. Like, bro, I could talk about this for hours.
I can't wait till the spring. I really want to get back into skateboarding, and I plan on it.
Here, let's actually this can lead into this question that I highlighted on the show sheet. So for our viewers, it says misconceptions about skateboarding, and if it's true. So you have things like, what aspects of skateboarding culture do you wish people more understood? How has skating influenced other areas of your life? So we just did a lot of other areas of life.
It's not a crime.
It is a crime. It's not an Olympic sport. It's a crime. That's actually a shirt Tony Hawk wore. It's like, skateboarding's not an Olympic sport. It's a crime.
It's so funny. I do love that
X
shirt.
Games, corny. Let's throw it out there. Corny. It used to be cool. Now it's corny.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Street League, which is corny as hell, but at least it's like, at least it's built for skaters, not, just because they need ratings. Like, nobody cares about the ratings of Street League. It might suck, especially since Nigel Houston just wins them all. Not anymore. He's lost a few. But anyway,
yeah.
Olympic skateboarding's kind of sick. I won't even lie about it. Anyway.
No. Oh my gosh. So good. Misconceptions. I think there's a lot. I mean, you touched on some of them earlier, like
the projections people put onto us.
The projections, yes. And that is,
it comes from a place of where it was true. Let's go ahead and get the cat out of the bag. Let's not beat around the bush. Skating was anarchy on purpose. It started off as a surfers culture where they wanted to do something when they couldn't be in the water, but then it turned into a rebellious thing on purpose. It became rebellion. And so that is where the stereotype in itself is created and crafted from, but that doesn't mean it applies. Now, are there still people that do it to be rebels? Are there people that do it to be like hardcore edgelord 9,000 badass? Sure. But that's not going to be your majority. You're going to find those people, absolutely, but that's not what it is.
Yeah. The vast majority of skaters are not doing anything bad. They're just minding their own business, enjoying their craft. You know what I mean? Um, they're hell. I mean, a lot of them are going through school. And this is just taking the edge off. You know what I mean? They're not around trying to cause a ruckus. They're not trying to break things. They're not trying to ruin. They're not trying to ruin the what's the word I'm looking for?
Like the ambiance of the
They're
area.
not. Yeah,
They're not
I
trying
mean,
to disrupt
they're
the
just
public.
exactly.
They're in their own bubble. Like, yeah, I was an a-hole when I was a middle school and early high school skater, but then I realized, oh, I don't need to be this.
Yeah, but I mean, also everyone's an a-hole in middle school. Teenagers are a-holes.
They're the worst people.
We did it. We did that. And I see it now clearly. As a 29-year-old, I was like, wow, I really was kind of an asshole. I just what? Like, we were.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it did make sense, let's be honest. Like, sometimes there'd be rules and like that's dumb.
No, 100%. So looking at it, I think it is fun to think about how it shapes your day-to-day life, because now as an adult who has bad knees, it doesn't as much. It shapes my life through fashion, through what I look at on. My Instagram is exclusively fashion and skateboarding. That's like what and art. Like, I follow a lot of small independent artists too. But anyway, so like it involves my day-to-day life with that decision making. Oh, which hoodie am I going to wear today? Oh, which pants am I going to wear today? Which shoes am I going to wear today? I still collect skating shoes. I mean, we can talk about how like one of the greatest DC legends of all time, Josh Kalis, lives up in Grand Rapids where Khalil used to stay.
Oh yeah,
and we would see him at the
Shout out.
DYI skate park, and
skate park. I love that park.
I met him once, which was so sick. I met a couple other people because Adidas did a tour there, so I met Daewon Son, which is just mind blowing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna put a little clip right here, and like, I got to meet these awesome legends and newer skaters too, and like all these cool people. I got to meet skaters from France because of that, and like she was sick. She got her own shoe through Adidas during that tour too, and like,
oh yeah, yep.
It's just cool to see these things happen. And like Josh Kalis is a legend, bro. From DGK, him and Stevie, like, I don't even know, like the luck. So Kalis went Alien Workshop, then DGK, and now he's like he's a Michigan boy, even though he's from Philly. Like, I've never met somebody that's not from Michigan that's just such a Michigan man. Like, he's so cool.
Yeah.
And like, I collect all of his shoes that he does if it's a collab. So I have his collabs with like Cafe, Butter. So like, art, I mean, skating is in my day-to-day life in a new way. And back in the day, it used to be in a day-to-day life where Khalil and I would bring our decks anywhere we went. We'd go downtown just to go downtown and skate from place to place. We literally made plans multiple times in our lives where this was the plan. Ready? Here's a shirt to help me get my point across. The plan was go to launch. After we were at launch, skate around and do nothing. We didn't plan on filming that day. We just wanted to skate around.
Yep.
We wanted to go to launch and look at what new things were dropping from Death Wish. We wanted to look at what new things were dropping from Magenta and Habitat. Like, this is what matters, bro.
Good times. Such good times.
And here's the thing. I'm going to go on a small rant. Skate shops, bring back couches, bro. Why are there no more couches in shops?
Yeah.
You still have TVs and you still play films. Bro, let the young kids sit down. We used to go to launch and stay for an hour watching the clip. And yeah, after we got older, we realized it's kind of a dick move to go in multiple times a week and never buy anything except for Arizona iced teas because they sold those. So yeah, eventually we started buying a bunch of sticker packs or magazines, and when we could, shirts, boards, wheels.
Yeah, when you're young, you don't. A lot of people don't have the money to buy that stuff. And but they want to be around that type of stuff.
Let them in the culture.
Just let them. Let them.
I'm so sick of shops not having couches anymore. Dude, when we went to Uprise in Chicago, which, oh my gosh, even my desk is covered in skate stickers, including an Uprise sticker, which at Uprise, they have their own coffee brew at that time. We went during a time where they were doing a collab with a local coffee house, so we got like canned cold brew from Uprise. Bro, make your shop a coffee shop.
My favorite tank top is from Uprise.
Yeah, like, bro.
I love that tank.
It needs to happen.
That was a great store too. I
know we met Timmy J there. That was sick.
Oh yeah,
Strangelove Rider.
I will say that the last year I haven't really skated much, but like there's always a possibility that I'm going to skate, right?
Oh, I mean, we'll do another Chicago trip.
I keep my board in my car, but I also keep myself limber. There you go. I keep myself limber so that I can be able to do these activities that I still enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, I have to do it.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? Let's use this point right now. Here, we're gonna show off our setups. I'll go first while you grab yours.
All right.
So, here's my deck. It's upside down. Let me flip that for y'all. Modern art piece. I'm riding a Hops currently. I did not plan this. I did not wear my Hops hoodie and show this off on the purpose. I'm just realizing that it kind of looks like that. Crazy thing, using independent trucks right now. Hate them. I've been using these for like a year, maybe 2. I hate these. They're so heavy. I want to go back to Thunder so bad. Always riding Spitfire Formula 4s. I'm an inside graphics guy. Always have the graphic on the inside. I hate the trucks, like I said.
Fair.
This is a pretty new board. I've only used it a few times. Grip tape by Theories of Atlantis. I only use Skate Junt. I only use Shake Junt bolts, hence the green and gold. I only use their bolts. I usually only use Shake Junt grip tape too, but I went with Theories this time because Hops is now part of Theories of Atlantis distribution. So it came with it, and I was like, you know what? I mess with Theories. I love traffic skateboards a lot, which is part of Theories, and so I was like, you know what? Why not? Here's a little tip for new skaters. This is dumb. I shouldn't do it anymore because I'm an adult, but I always put an F on my front truck. So that way, if I ever change boards, I know which truck's my front truck. So that way, when you're practicing your grinds, one's not more uneven than the other. Or, even better, after a long time, you can swap them. So that way, they become more balanced.
Oh, there you go.
So this is my current setup. My normal setup is 8.3 to 8.5. This is an 8.5. With the trucks, the 8.5 is too heavy. The Indy trucks make my 8.5 too. I can't flick this. This is a riding board. I'm going to build a new setup for this summer for tricks. This is going to be my permanent riding board because I'm not going to throw away the trucks. So,
oh, there you go.
Let's see. Let's do a little counter. That's my worst bearing. I can tell because it did not go very long. There you go. Oh, my bearings are shot. This has been in my garage for too long. Look at it getting rusted. I'm going to cut that part out because I'm embarrassed. All right, Khalil, show us your setup.
All right, here we go. What do we got? We got a...
Is that just a blank?
You know what? Where
did you get that from? Was
there's
I
a blank.
with you?
You were. We went
was,
to... You got this. You got this.
Was this at Plus in Farmington Hills? Did you get it at Plus?
No.
Was it Olympia?
Got this in Ipsy.
It was Olympia?
It was Olympia. It was Olympia.
I didn't realize they sold blanks.
I think it was a blank magenta.
Oh, that's what it is. It's a magenta board.
Yep. Okay. So this is a 8.25.
Those are my old Thunders.
I love this size. These are Austin's old Thunders.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Listen.
Well, it makes sense. They're the size
I got Spitfires.
down, so yeah.
I got Spitfires. Actually, the same as yours.
Yeah. No, yours are rounded.
I also have the graphics on the inside.
Yours are rounded.
Mine are rounded? Okay.
Check this small nerdy stuff. Yours are rounded, mine are square.
Oh, yours are square. I see that now. Yep, so got that going. I think my hardware, I believe I just got reds. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Very generic.
Which is nothing wrong with that. I only go Shake Junt because I'm a fanboy. Shake Junt sent me a care package growing up. Khalil might remember that. I won a photo contest through them where I wore Ryan Reynolds' Shake Junt collab Etnies in a morph suit, and I wear my Stance Shake Junt socks in a Shake Junt. I held my Baker or my Deathwish board with my Shake Junt grip, and they sent me a care package with a. I'm mad I lost it. I no longer have the shirt. They sent me a nice, awesome shirt that was like a triple XL. Sent me multiple grip tapes. Sent me an extra pair of the exact socks I was wearing in the photo. And a few other cool things. I still have some of the original stickers they sent me because they sent me like 1,000 stickers. I used most of them, but I still have a few unused on purpose. So yeah, that was cool. I actually have the deck that I had when Shake Junt. I won this is my favorite thing I've ever bought. Khalil's with me when I bought it. It was actually with the trucks that Khalil's using. It was those trucks, some Spitfire wheels, and Eric Ellington's Alice in Wonderland Acid Trip Deathwish board.
Oh my goodness.
This is my favorite thing I own.
I love.
It's had 1,600 grips on it since. The most recent one is one of the Krabby Jazz. I wrote Godzilla in Japanese, and then I got a Deathwish at the top. I have it.
I love that you still have that.
I have every board I've ever had except for the few that I broke. I don't have my Habitat Austin Gillette board that I wish I had still, but if I had that, I'd be a happy boy.
I do have most of my boards, my old boards. Something about boards, I just can't get rid of them.
No, they're art pieces. And also, so here's the thing. Yeah. When I have I don't like the word man cave because but like if I have my little den when I'm older, there's going to be a wall of boards. And the boards that don't make it or that are too decrepit or too broken, I will be breaking, sanding, polishing, and turning into a lawn chair. So.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You know what? I'm right there with you. I'm stealing that idea.
No, go ahead. I mean, that's like why I keep a lot of them. So, plus memories. I mean, that brought you back. I mean, you just saw the wave of emotion, everyone. If you watch, if you're listening, I'm sorry you missed it, but you know, it brings back some good emotion. So, yeah, I mean, just God, we could talk about these things for hours. I mean, the show sheet is huge, people. I mean, let us know if you want to do a part 2 on this, because we will do a part 2 on this in general. We only got through we got through 3/4 of page 1 of a 2-page document.
I was gonna say we still got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna say
one more thing. Skateboarding doesn't care what gender you are, which religion you are, which background you come from. Everyone in skating, as long as you're not a poser, will love you. Skating is intimidating. It's one of the most gate-kept hobbies there are, but it's gate-kept to weed out people that don't want to be there long-term or aren't passionate. And I think that's a huge misconception. Yeah, a lot of skaters are a-holes to you if you're not good, but they're not a-holes to you because you're not good. It's because they don't know you. Once you're in or you find a clique, or if you're just at your local park or local events, people care, bro. The amount of strangers we've talked to, I've made friends off of skating my whole life. I've met famous people. I met the rapper Hobson. I skated with Hobson. He skunked my ass in a game of skate and then bought me Noodles and Company. Because why? Skating, boy.
That's so funny. I love that. I love that. Listen, like, you're at a skate park, you're trying to do a trick, you can literally ask someone, like, hey, can you show me how to do this? And most people will help you. And they will help you. Most people will help you. There aren't people who are antisocial in life. That's their fine. That's their prerogative. Nobody's upset at them for that. Most people do not care. Most people will help you out. Most people will joke around with you. You could talk about your favorite artist, whether it's musical or on the board. You can talk about your favorite paintings. Like, art is a community. And yeah, it is very gatekept and it feels very exclusive. But trust me, I don't think I've ever belonged to a community that is more inclusive. No, it is so inclusive. Like once you get through the door, it like you will be like, oh my God.
A lot of people
everyone's
from
family.
Low income areas, you know, minority groups, LGBTQ members find their safe haven through skating because it's about self-expression. That's what skating is. It's not about fitting in. Yeah, there's the people that wear Thrasher hoodies and don't know how to skate. Yeah, there's the people who don't realize Supreme is a skate brand, so they wear it because it's expensive and they think it's cool. It's like, nah, bro. Yeah, it is. It's both those things. I'm one of those skaters that actually does like Supreme. I have no fear in admitting it. Like, it is sick, but like, you got to know they made some of the most banger videos that's ever existed in skateboarding history. Also, that they've been around since 93, 94. Like, bro, you got to know this stuff. Like, skating is more of a test before you're in, and the test is scary, but the test is, do you know yourself? Are you willing to express yourself, and are you willing to have passion to put in the effort? That's what skating is.
And once you have that, you're good. You're golden.
Now, with that being said,
and not only that,
you add on to it while I get this. Well, you add, no, go ahead, go on a small tangent while I add my
yeah, I was just gonna say, you get through those doors, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself, you're gonna meet a lot of people, and it's gonna be so much fun. You will find yourself thinking about, oh my God, I want to go out, I want to go to the skate park, or I want to go outside. Like, we were outside so much as we were outside skating. I mean, typically like well into November we would be out skating. It's a little hard now. You get old, and I mean, you get hurt when it's cold. It's a little much. So, but yeah, we met a lot of people when we were growing up and skating, whether it be part of street team or, you know, just chance encounter. You meet Hobson at the skate park. You know, we met Tony Hawk, Andy McDonald.
Was it Ryan DeCenzo?
No, I think so. I mean, you know, it's a community, and it gets pretty tight-knit too.
All right, people, I hope you enjoyed. If you want another skateboarding episode, please let us know. We would gladly talk about this again. But with that, go do a kickflip. Tell Eric Costin we said what's up. I met him. We didn't even talk about going to Montreal, a 12-hour car ride there and back. We went to the Dime Glory Challenge. See, we might need to do another skating episode just for us.
We got to do a second episode.
We might need to do memories and memorabilia. So, hey, friends, like, subscribe, comment. I always forget to say it at the beginning. Love you. Mwah. Good night. Give you a little forehead kiss. Mwah.
Peace.